I investigated the void in Minecraft. Previously, YouTuber SPDS tested how deep the void was by removing the teleport limit from the code and sending himself far below the void. He discovered that at around minus 200 million blocks, void damage stopped entirely, and at the negative 64-bit integer limit, the void began flashing with random colors. I wanted to see if any of this still happens in modern versions of Minecraft. Since teleporting past 20 million blocks doesn't work, I manually edited my player position in the world files. First, I set my heights to minus 200 million blocks, the same point where SPDS stops taking damage. But in newer versions, I still took void damage and died. Next, I tested the negative 32-bit integer limit. Even this far down, the void behaved completely normal. I still took damage and eventually died. Then I went much lower to minus 2 to the power of 55 blocks. At this height, gravity completely breaks. The player stops falling entirely, but void damage still applies, and you can still die. Looking up toward the sky at this point instantly crashes the game. I kept pushing further and found that minus 2 to the power of 63 blocks was the lowest point I could reliably load into. The world loaded normally and void damage still worked as expected. Finally, I tried the negative 64-bit integer limit. In SPDS's test, this is where the void showed flashing colors, but in my case, the game wouldn't load at all and crashed instantly. So in modern Minecraft, you can load the game all the way down to minus 2 to the power of 63 blocks. But once you hit the 64-bit integer limit, the game breaks completely.